Hello everybody, welcome to Movies with Malice. I have decided to show you guys my favorite Christmas movie of all time. You know what my favorite Christmas movie is? BeastMaster. You weren't thinking it would be BeastMaster? You thought it would be Die Hard or something else, but it's not. It's BeastMaster. I love BeastMaster, and it makes me think of Christmas because years ago, I don't know, I was probably 9 or 10, TBS or TNT or one of those stations had a BeastMaster Christmas, and they showed all 3 BeastMasters. Unfortunately, I only own on VHS BeastMaster 1 and 2. So I can't talk about number 3 because I don't own it, and I also don't think I liked it. I vaguely remember, but I know I love BeastMaster, and I love BeastMaster 2, even though a lot of people hate it, and I'll explain why. First of all, we need to talk about BeastMaster. If you've never seen BeastMaster, you've never seen a man communicate to animals with his mind. And that's sad because that's amazing that he could do that. There's so many awesome animals in here. Sorry I keep looking down. My dog is just running around. Speaking of adorable animals, he's trying to find somewhere to sit. Don't worry about it. Anyway, BeastMaster had the ability to talk to all sorts of different types of animals. He could telepathically talk to like an eagle, and the eagle would like let him, basically it would fly over and let him see what's going on in other kingdoms and other shit like that. And then he could also talk to, he had his like black tiger or whatever that would like follow him. And of course, no one's gonna fuck with him. He's got this big old tiger, running around. But my favorite animals in it were the ferrets, and they were named Kodo and Podo, I think. And these guys, like when he got locked up, he got thrown into prison, and they got out of the bag and they ran and stole the key and helped him escape. I mean, what other animal can do that for you? Because of those ferrets, like later on in life, I had 2 ferrets as well, and they were just amazing. I love ferrets. They're so cute. I mean, the smell, not so much, but they're cute as hell. And then I wanted to mention, in BeastMaster 2, they had Carrie Wurr in there, and she's in so many like 80s, mostly 90s movies that you might know and TV shows. Pretty sure she's in one of the later Hellraiser movies, and I don't know how many Hellraiser movies were there, guys. There's like 200.
8?
I think there might be
8?
10.
Oh, 10.
No, there could be
lot.
8. There's a lot of Hellraiser movies. I mean, but there was like, I think the first 3 or 4 Hellraisers were really awesome, and then the last 2, and I think she's in one of the last 2. This is a guy. I don't know if I should ruin the story because you guys got to watch it, but I'll give you a brief, my version of what happens is like these people from another kingdom come and wipe out his whole family, everybody, and then he ends up being taken in basically by animals and others, and raised in the woods, and he develops the ability to speak to animals, and then he comes back to get revenge on the people that killed his family and like everyone in where he came from. And honestly, they just don't make movies like this anymore. Like, that they couldn't, because they could never probably put real animals with humans like they did back then. I mean, these are real live animals, panthers and crazy animals that he was performing with back then. And this is Mark Singer, and he's also in BeastMaster 2. And in BeastMaster, the original, his love interest is a super babe named Tanya Roberts, who I also have the Playboy for somewhere over here, which you should see. But Tanya Roberts was in Sheena, another movie that has people that can telepathically communicate with animals. In this movie, it's like set in Africa, and she's like raised by a tribe of people, and she learns to communicate with animals. And of course, these hunters and other people are trying to like ruin the environment and kill animals. It's like still happening nowadays, you know. But her and these animals get revenge on these people. But I have to go back and tell you a little bit more about Beastmaster 2. I just wanted to say Tanya Roberts is in both of these. And Beastmaster 2 is really different, you guys. This one needs its own review because it is so weird. Beastmaster goes through the portal of time, and so he comes to like Los Angeles in the 80s, and this is a real comedy. Okay, these are all comedies depending on which way you look at them, but this one is special, you guys. It's I can't even explain this movie. It's so funny because it's like, I don't know, like this girl, she goes through the portal of time, and then he comes with his animals. This is like a WTF movie that you just have to watch, so you could just be like, what? The whole time. And but it's still amazing, you know, like, and this movie makes me think of Masters of the Universe. So a lot of people had seen the original Masters of the Universe He-Man movie, the live action one with Dolph Lundgren. Love him. And so if you liked this, because it's totally WTF as well, then you'd like this movie. I think they all kind of, you know, this is like more than a double feature, but I can't not mention these other movies if I talk about Beastmaster. And I think that for Christmas, this is how they should be watched. It should just go Beastmaster. Then you should watch Sheena. I know it's out of order. Then you watch Beastmaster 2. Then you watch Masters of the Universe. And if you also haven't seen Masters of the Universe, I feel sorry for you. You got to see Masters of the Universe. I mean, first of all, you should see every movie that Dolph Lundgren is in, pretty much, because he's amazing in all his movies. I mean, just the outfit. Can you see this outfit? Like, I want to borrow that. And I mean, I pretty much look like Skeletor most of the time, so that's like my look that I've been doing my whole life. Look. Wait. Skeletor, see? Right. And let me see, what else can I tell you about this movie that isn't giving it away? The most evil chick in the world, she goes by Evil Lynn. You know, she's a character in He-Man, but she's played by Meg Foster. Such a babe. Like, you got to see that movie. You know what's funny though? If I bring up her as such a good villain, then it makes me want to bring up another movie that Mark Singer is in, and I have that all on VHS, and that's V, because V has Diana, and she's like the same kind of hotness as the chick in this movie. So, but this is too many already. We got to watch all these on Christmas, because this would be the best Christmas you could possibly have, and these all go together. So, and what about in Sheena? What about the animals in Sheena? I mean, Sheena just joined forces with all of the animals pretty much, but she could get them to, like, she had elephants, like, helping, like, lay down logs so, like, trapper or hunters and shit couldn't get into the reserve. And she had, just, you guys, my favorite thing. This is basically this movie, I think, and Barry Gordy's Last Dragon with Vanity are like the two movies with the two hottest babes that ever lived. That pretty much, I think, at that age, I'm gonna guess what, it was like 10. That's when I probably realized I was bisexual, because it's just like, even if you didn't care about the story of either of those movies, and like just like this movie in general, just the visual of this chick riding bareback on a zebra, which is really a horse painted to look like a zebra, that this movie is worth watching just to watch her just like slowly gallop with this zebra bareback. It's in this outfit. That's all you need to do. You could just watch this over and over and your night is good. And in Masters of the Universe, did you know that Courtney Cox is in this movie? She's in this movie playing the love interest. And, you know, this is back when she was a young thing. What was this, like one of her first or really early movies. I do remember, I think the first time I ever saw her was in a music video. She was in, what was that movie or that music video? Bruce Springsteen like pulled her on stage in a music video in the 80s and had her dance on stage with him. Pretty amazing. And there's also the guy that played Skeletor. That's Frank Langella, and I'm not sure if I can pronounce that name right, but I was never known for my good pronunciations. But I mean, he's in so many movies that are amazing from back in those days. Like, I mean, probably still now. I could probably, honestly, I have a whole section of, you know, movies that are set in like kind of medieval-ish times that could also kind of piggyback on these movies, but I will definitely get back and do some more double features with these other movies, because there's just too many movies in this kind of vibe that are amazing. Pretty soon I probably will be talking also about a lot of the horror films I have. Let me know what horror films that you want to see. I definitely am gonna have a lot of picks. I have tons of horror films, but I'm gonna go back and forth from horror, B-movie. What even is this genre? This is, does anybody know what genre you would even call these movies?
Sci-fi.
They're kind of sci-fi, but they're kind of fantasy would be, yes. There used to be a store in Portland, Oregon called Movie Madness, and they had, these movies were all in a section that they called male chauvinist fantasies. And that was actually my favorite section in the whole store. And pretty much how I organize my tapes is how they used to organize their tapes. Like, I have a section that's just, you know, like all teen angst movies, because they had teen angst. And then they had, you know, like the male chauvinist ones. And then they had like blaxploitation. They had everything kind of organized that way. And that's kind of how I got it going on as well. So anyways, I will be uploading the next one before you know it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.